Hey y'all, just tuning in. I want to make a quick video and show you all how to do the muscle test, specifically the solitary muscle test. And the point of learning this muscle test is, one, to have a really quick and easy method to get clear and concise answers and information and guidance for your life. And the second reason is to encourage a process, a method, a path by which one can become much more in tune with the intuition, much more trusting of the intuition. This is a means to strengthen your innate intuitive abilities. And so we use the muscle test as a means to check our intuition. And gradually, after getting comfortable with the muscle testing technique, we can begin to drop that altogether, because the heart-based consciousness and the intuition will have been strengthened in that process. Okay, so very simple. I will give some guidelines as we go through it, but the technique that I like to use, the solitary technique that I like to use, is the scissor fingers. So you're going to take your dominant hand and you're going to make scissors like so, the pointer and the middle finger. Open it fully all the way, and I have my fingers like this. Okay, so that's one side. And then the other side, the other hand, you're going to take your pointer and thumb and gently apply pressure. And what we need to figure out here, what we need to feel into it, is to find the proper ratio of pressure from this side and resistance from this side. We don't want to be straining with the scissor. We don't want to be forcefully pushing so hard. But this is in general how we want it to feel. So you take a moment and you experiment with that. The next piece, once we begin to calibrate our proper resistance and pressure ratio, is to get clear on our yes and our no, or our yes and our not yes. So we do the test. You're going to take a deep inhale, being presently embodied here now, not anywhere else in your mind. You're going to ask, show me yes. You apply pressure. And that was light pressure, very light resistance on this side. I barely had to do anything to that pressure, and it just held strong. Show me yes. Show me yes. Okay. And now we're going to ask, show me no. Show me no. Show me no. Show me no. Okay, so we can see that the yes response is clearly a stronger response, that when we're asking for yes, when we're asking for truth, that our bodies, our muscles are naturally stronger. And then when we're asking for the false, we're asking for the not yes. Show me no, show me not yes. There is less strength in our bodies. Our muscles weaken naturally as a response to that frequency. So now that we get clear on our yeses and nos, we can start asking some questions. We're going to start with questions that we know the answer to. And all of our questions we are going to pose as a statement, and we're going to avoid shoulds and ifs so that we can be clear, concise, and specific with our questioning. It's very important. The question itself, or the statement rather, is very important. So bring your hands up. and we'll pose the statement. My name is Abu Shadi. Okay, so you can do it with your name. My name is Abu Shadi. My name is Abu Shadi. My name is Jeff. My name is Jonathan. My name is Bob. My name is Nicholas. My name is Abu Shadi. Okay? My name is Nicholas as well, so you saw that. So now that we're clear on our yeses and our nos, and we know what it feels like to ask a question that we know the answer to already and the response that yields, now is when you want to start getting into asking the real questions that you want the answer to. And perhaps before you go into the really deeper stuff, you start simple. You start with the basic things. I always like to preface, before I ask anything, firstly, you want to get permission. You want to get permission from your higher consciousness. Do I have permission to ask this? Or you can pose it as the statement, I have permission to ask this. Or it is of the highest will that I ask this. It is of the highest will that I pose this statement. It is of the highest will that I inquire about this. So it begins with that. It begins with having the permission, knowing that it is integrous of you to even inquire about what you want to inquire about. So say if it's just you eating a meal, you don't really need to ask, do I have permission to ask this? But I will say, preface your statement with, it is of the highest will that I eat this food. And you can say it out loud, or you can just hold that thought in your mind and in your heart. So let's say, it is of the highest will that I eat some watermelon. Okay. It is of the highest will that I eat some watermelon before my call. It's a yes. Okay. So it is of the highest will. It is of the highest will that I eat some deep fried food before my call. Immediately, mind you, I'm same amount of pressure, same amount of resistance. Certain things make the body go strong, certain things make the body go weak. And this is just across the board, universal. This will work for you. What is most important is that you show up for it truthfully and integrity. If you are below the level of integrity in the totality of your life and your decisions, this technique isn't going to work for you per se, or it's not going to yield completely accurate answers. So the first thing is really getting your life in check, being embodied, being present with your breath, being healthy, making healthy decisions, making kind, caring, compassionate decisions. This is all going to raise up your consciousness and allow you to use this technique accurately. And then, as I said, you use this over time, you get more familiar with your own innate intelligence, intuition of the heart, and you can eventually drop the technique gradually until you don't really need it anymore, because you just know naturally without needing to ask any questions. So I recommend, if you're just getting into this, start with the really easy, basic questions and get really clear and familiar with your resistance and pressure ratio, getting really clear and familiar with how it feels for a yes and how it feels for a not yes. And then you can start getting into the deeper questions, and you can literally use this as a research tool. You can use this when it comes to your business and you need to figure out, what's the one thing that I can do right now that is going to have the biggest impact. You're not going to ask it in that way. It's a yes or not yes response. So you have to be wise and intelligent about how you formulate the questions for your research. But just know that you have this available. What you're actually doing is you're bypassing your mind, you're bypassing the ego, personality, construct, and you're going straight to the divine intelligence, which is using the body as a vessel. So you're getting out of your own way, essentially, and you're going right to the non-local consciousness itself, which is localized in your body. Makes sense? So if you want to learn more about this, I have released a free ebook called The Compass of the Heart, which details the muscle testing a little bit further, and I figured I'd make this video to just add, in addition to that, to help clear things up and just show you guys how it's actually done in the moment. One other thing I'll add is, I like to hold it up to my heart. It's good to double check things and ask certain questions from multiple angles if you feel unclear about the response, and sometimes you can overdo it and your fingers get tired, and sometimes you're just not embodied enough for it to really work, and it makes more sense for you to, instead of just going into the muscle test, it makes more sense to breathe consciously and go outside in nature and get some sun and come into some clarity state, and then you can do your research, then you can ask what you need to do. But you can also use this in day-to-day life just as a way to discern. No more need for overthinking and overanalyzing, trying to figure everything out with the mind, which is slow and prone to not being able to know the difference between the truth and the lie. So use your intuition, use your body's intelligence, consciousness, intelligence itself, expressed through this body, and use the muscle test to check your intuition, to check your inner wisdom and knowledge, to confirm, and then apply that. Apply the guidance you receive from asking the questions, and you will find that the more you can trust in the guidance you receive and act upon it, the stronger your ability to discern will become naturally. Your intuition will increase, and you will no longer have a need to ask the questions. It'll all be flowing naturally through your presence itself. So I trust this is useful. Feel free to ask any questions below. Check out the link in my bio to get the free ebook. It's just one more day to grab it. And I truly believe and know that this will assist you on your journey if applied sincerely. Big love. Have a blessed day.